The tabling of a code of conduct was and is one of the promises made by President Maithripala Sirisena.
However, it is also one of the promises which had missed two deadlines set in the manifesto of the President. Newsfirst takes a look at the need for this piece of legislation and the causes for its delay.
This is often the scene in your parliament. Its functioning crippled by a lack of order and decorum, a speaker desperately trying to bring a semblance of normalcy so that parliament can do its job, serving the people. One of the main promises of President Maithripala Sirisena's manifesto is the implementation of a code of conduct for MPs. However, this has yet to be realized, as both the dates for the tabling of the code as well as its adoption have lapsed, with no solid progress yet to be seen. When questioned at the Cabinet media briefing regarding the code of conduct, acting Cabinet spokesperson Lakshman Kiriyalla had this to say.
The code of conduct was to be introduced on the 22nd of January. That's for public people, representatives to observe, and it was to be introduced to all representatives of the people by the 2nd of this month.
We are drafting it. We are drafting it. We are a bit late, but we are drafting it.
Newsfirst contacted Asoka Obesekara, a governance consultant, to ask him what a code of conduct could do to help the functioning of Parliament.
Well, Anura Kumara Dissanayake heads up the Urgent Response Committee, which is a subcommittee of the National Executive Council. And he mentioned last week that he's in consultation with other parties regarding the code of conduct. He didn't, however, comment on what the code of conduct was going to encompass. But he did touch on the fact that it's trying to remedy the way in which members of parliament play around with their mandate. So this could well be an insight into the reformation of the practice of parliamentary crossovers. However, beyond this little insight, there isn't much clarity. This seems to be in line with this government's lack of consultative engagement, which they sometimes attribute to the fact that they have a very short time frame in which they have to implement all these changes. Regarding parliamentary procedure itself, it would seem as though the standing orders are the key things which should be looked at regarding the conduct of MPs within Parliament itself, and this hasn't been given much attention, and really it requires a lot more analysis.
Former MP and member of the National Executive Council Mano Ganeshan gave reasons for the delay in tabling the Code of Conduct.
Such a piece of law was not there in this country earlier, so we have to seek references from various other countries, legislatures where such laws exist. So that is the reason for some delay. I mean, because we are beyond the schedule in the 100 days run. But anyway, tomorrow our National Executive Council is meeting. Leader of JVP, Anura Kumara Dissanayake, my good friend, has taken the responsibility of forwarding a draft of such law tomorrow. 1 p.m. we are meeting at the President's Secretariat. We are discussing about other issues also on the right information, and also the 19th Amendment, which will cover sending here the 18th Amendment, bringing in the 17th Amendment, also repealing the extraordinary powers of the Presidency and handing over to the Parliament. This is our most important issue.
Head of the Urgent Response Committee tasked with creating a new code of conduct, JVP leader MP Anura Kumara Dissanayake gave a more expansive view on creating good parliamentary conduct.
We honestly do not believe at any instance that this country's parliament or its members can be controlled by a code of conduct. However, the JVP is of the view that after publicly announcing such a code of conduct, they are just merely restricting it to an idea. When looking at the 100-day program, although certain timeframes have been allocated within these 100 days, we believe it is impractical. It may be successful as a policy manifesto, but if considered as a program saying that certain things will be done on particular days, it is impractical. We do not believe that implementing a code of conduct through a legal framework can resolve the prevalent issues. It is only through a complete transformation in the social economic body that may it be the Parliament, MPs, ministers, and even the President can be controlled. We are in no belief that a code of conduct can resolve these problems through this dilapidated, unclean and crumbled society.
With the expectations for good governance high on the agenda, the current leadership has the opportunity to set the precedent to change not only a code of conduct, but also realign the moral compass of Sri Lankan politics by simply adhering to it.